Okay, hi YouTube, Mr. User Boss here, and this is my video about my favourite apps and games on Android between September and October. Now, number one is Beach Buggy Racing, and this is the successor to the highly successful Beach Buggy Blitz, and that was one of my favourite games on Android. I mean, you may remember I used that game as a benchmark for just about every single new Android device I got, and this is probably going to be the new benchmark, because I have to say, it'll absolutely crush your device. On maximum resolution and maximum settings, the game looks unbelievably good. This is one of the best looking games I've ever seen on Android. I mean, the whole environment, you know, the lighting, the shaders, the shadows, it's all incredibly detailed. It looks really great. On top of that, the game is really fun. There's loads of room for upgrades, and there's actually a lot more weapons than the competitors. There's something like 8 or 9 compared to 4 or 5. So next up is Angry Birds Stella. Now, is this basically just more of the exact same thing Rovio have been churning out for the last 5 years? Well, sort of. I mean, yes, you're basically, you're using a catapult, you're swinging a bird towards some random green pig-like things, but actually, it is quite a good game nonetheless. First of all, it's free, which means you've got access to pretty much the full game without paying a penny, and also they have introduced some new elements. For example, as you can see, you can actually bounce Stella off walls, and then she can actually rebound and hit enemies, and this actually adds quite a lot to the game. So it adds actually a kind of unseen before puzzle type element to the game, where you actually have to think about where you're going to throw it, and figure out how you're actually going to get to the pigs before you actually throw it. So I'd actually say it kind of works here. However, I would say it's quite easy, so even if you sort of mess up a couple of shots, you can still get a perfect score, and I wish they'd turn it up a bit. So the next one is Red Bull Air Race, and this is a sort of racing simulator, more than a racing game really. And, it just has you flying around lots of different maps on a sort of semi-controlled track, just doing all sorts of cool stunts, and it is pretty fun. I mean, it's probably not as over the top as something like Beach Buggy Blitz, and as a result, probably not quite as fun. Nonetheless, it's got some pretty nice things. I mean, it's got a really awesome photo mode as well. You can actually take quite nice looking pictures on the backdrop of all the game's scenes. So yeah, pretty cool. So next one is Heroes of Loot, and shout out to Mike Meredith for recommending this. It's a really great game. So it's got pretty much everything you'd want in an RPG compressed into a very small and quite neat package. So as you can see, it's got a very retro art style, which honestly I'm not a massive fan of, but it does sort of look okay. The sounds kind of sound a little bit grainy and a little bit muffled, but they'll suffice. I guess it all adds to that sort of retro experience, whether you like it or not. Now, there's all sorts of things you can do here. There's a shop, there's quests, there's abilities to level up, and you can unlock loads and loads of cool stuff. So there is a free version as well, which has ads in it. So the last app I want to show you is called Lightgrid, and this is actually a live wallpaper. Now, before I actually go through with this, I'm just going to warn you that it will actually drain your battery a little bit. I mean, this isn't the most demanding, but it's not exactly that good for those purists. But nonetheless, it looks insane. It looks really awesome, and it responds to your touch. So you can also fully customize it. I mean, there's more options in the Pro version, but even in the free, there's plenty you can do. You can adjust the size, color, and shape of the grid. And so yeah, I really do recommend it. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more.